Alright, cool.
All right, Shalom. We the brothers from the GMS Atlanta Church back to feed the elect. Lord willing, this live stream we put together, be edifying. But before we get started, as always, want to give all praise, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the elders and apostles at GMS to continue to teach and rule well, and peace and safety to the Akim across the four corners of the earth that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, I'm the brother of Rock.
Brother Kashakwala. Brother Kamaya.
Khan. And as I said before, we represent the GMS Atlanta Church. All right, back to feed the elect. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. All right, and as you can see from the title, all right, persecution is near. All right, and you can see it, man. You got all these other alphabet Israelite groups furthering the narrative of Esau. The black identity extremist narrative is the new thing. Okay, you got ISUPK. It was a clip a brother put in the group chat, and they just, yeah, we are black identity extremists. I'm a supreme black identity. I hate the white man. Just further playing in the Esau's hand, man. All right. And you got the nigga Nate Satan, dropping the elders and apostles government name, man. Like he ain't gonna be persecuted as well. All right, by him identifying himself as an Israelite, man. This thing is going to be as a nation. If you are the nation of Israel, this white man, all right, the so-called white man, which is Esau Edom, is going to come down on you, man. All right, and be ready for it. All right, we here at Great Millstone know that according to the scriptures that it has to happen. All right, it's a part of prophecy. All right, but we're going to be we try our best. All right, to be blameless. All right, so when that persecution does come, all right, it's gonna have to be falsely. It's gonna have to be false, man.
False allegations.
Yeah, it's gonna be false allegations, like the brother said. They're not gonna have us on camera talking about, yeah, we're black identity extremists. We're gonna do this and do that. Nah, man. What we do is speak according to the Holy Scriptures, man, and with salt, man. We watch what we say. All right. We're not going out here saying that we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We said, no, the Lord is going to do it, or the Lord is going to allow it, all right? These niggas just being straight up carnal, all right? So when that persecution comes, just be ready for it, because it's coming, all right? And that's why we separate ourselves, all right, from these other groups. We put out disclaimers on our videos, okay? We have nothing to do with these other groups. We're not black identity extremists, so on and so forth, all right? So without further ado, what you doing?
This is
Matthew. Come.
This is Matthew 5, verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Yeah, blessed are they that are persecuted for righteousness' sake. All right, and if you call yourself a man of the Lord, all right, you're walking in righteousness, you're going to be persecuted. So look at it as a blessing. All right, don't take it as a negative, man. Because they persecuted our Lord and Savior, all right? He did nothing wrong, man. But yet they still came up against him, all right? And he had to ultimately die for the sins of the nation of Israel, man. All right? Keep going.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
I'm
continuing on. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you.
Yeah, and that word revile, if I can get it, you have to blue letter pull up, yeah. 5 and 11. Okay. Let's see what that word revive.
Okay. This is the word revile in the Greek, and it's onodezo, and it means to approach, upbraid, which means upbraid means to talk behind someone's back.
Yep.
Revile, it says deserved reproach. Reproach goes into correction. It says undeserved reproach.
Yep.
To upbraid, cast in one's teeth, or cast favors received in one's teeth. And the Strong's definition goes to say to defame.
To defame. And reread that.
It says, this is Matthew 5 and 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you.
Yeah, blessed are ye when men shall revile you. You see what the nigga Nate did? He derelict. The lady, what's derelict? He don't even know the definition of words. He's sitting there calling somebody something. He don't even know what the hell it means. That's reviling, man. Blessed are these when men shall revile you. Derelict, he said, they're half crazy. When you look up that word derelict, it goes into poor or homeless, you know. So what the hell is this man talking about? But that goes to show you, man, Nate don't have the truth. He just a sellout nigga, man. All right? That's furthering the narrative of Esau when this persecution hits, man.
That's right.
You had something to add?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Kind of says, and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely.
Yeah, all manner of evil against you falsely. They're rapists. Okay? They don't like the black woman. They hate the black woman. You know, all manner of such, man. All right? Slander. just totally contrary to uprightness, man. Because what we're doing is coming out of the Holy Scriptures. This is not nothing out of our own mind or something we just came up with because we just some hateful group and we don't, you know, society has pushed us aside and we're just angry. Nah, man. Reread that Bible shop.
This is Matthew 5, verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely.
Falsely, okay? Because let's say we were rapists. Do you think we'll still be sitting here doing this live stream?
Or be on the highways.
Or be on the highways and byways? Do they let rapists just roam free in this society? No. All right? So that's false accusations, man. Go ahead. And don't let, you know, if you looking for the truth, man, and it's here at Great Millstone, don't let the persecution and slander sway you away from your salvation, man. All right? It's false accusations, man. The scriptures speak about that. All right? Go ahead,
I got the word persecution, you know, for the sake of the lesson. In the etymology, it's a noun in mid-14th century. It means oppression for the holding of a belief or opinion. Okay? We understand what the Romans, the 3rd chapter says, verse 3, but reading on to verse 4, it says, let the Most High be true and every man a liar. So meaning we stand fast in Yahweh Shai in what we believe. Now, Babakasha, can we get that Timothy? 2 Timothy 3 and 12?
Yeah.
This is 2 Timothy 3, verse 12. Yet, and all that will live godly and Hamashiach Yahushua shall suffer persecution.
That's right, because we want to live godly in Yahweh Yahushua. We have to suffer these things of which we believe on, and that's in Yahweh Yahushua. So they're going to come down on us and revile us, upbraid against us, talk shit, slander, false allegations. They're going to keep Esau's program going because they're totally indoctrinated into it. Henceforth, you see him having interviews with Vice magazine. They're on World Star Hip Hop having 800 men marching. Okay, like the brother said, dropping legal names, you know, the slave names of the apostles, you know, things of that nature, because that's a form of persecution. Because if I'm not mistaken, every brother done seen the video where Nate was like, I scorn the name. Because I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to repeat what he says because you have to take account to every other word. Okay? But he scorned that name. Therefore, he wants to persecute us by that. Okay? Because we believe in that. And that's something that we hold dear to us. Now, again, the word persecution says oppression, which reviling is a form of oppression. Slander is a form of oppression. All right? For the holding of a belief or opinion. Okay? No, we're holding a belief. Okay? Because opinions are vain. We ain't got no opinion. Whatever the scriptures say goes.
That's right. Okay?
But we're holding a belief in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Therefore, these other alphabet camps and even these other heathens are going to start reviling us and persecuting us. And you know what? I'm not even going to say just GMS. I'm just going to say the men of the Lord are the ones being oppressed, because we're transitioning into that time where there ain't going to be no more alphabet camps.
Exactly.
It's going to be you either in it It's either you're a man of the Lord or you're done. No gray areas in between it. Okay, so they're oppressing the men of the Lord right now. And primarily a chunk of men of the Lord are in the GMS. There's some scattered out in other camps, but the Lord will wake them up in due time, man. You know, yes, you go ahead, bro.
You can bring out that Luke 6 and 22.
This is Luke 6 verse 22. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you.
Yeah.
And when they shall separate you from their company.
Yeah, because the first thing he said was, no, that's not anything we teach. Those are great millstones. It's called great millstone, and they're taught by derelict teachers, X, Y, and Z. He separated us from his company. Good. God damn it. We don't want to be associated with you guys anyway. And we separate ourselves from you as well. Not because, you know, you got the truth. It's because you're evil, goddamn. And we don't have anything to do with you all.
What does the dog have to do with a hyena?
Exactly. Go ahead.
And shall reproach you.
Yep.
And cast out your name as evil.
They're derelict. They're half crazy. That's what he did. Cast us out as evil. All right? Go ahead.
For the Son of Man's sake.
Yeah, for the Son of Man's sake. To try to keep his congregation squeaky clean. All right? So he can keep that money coming in. All right? And in the eyes of men. He don't want to be associated with somebody that's persecuted for the truth. Because if those men are truly men of the Lord and they did get locked up, hey, so what? The Lord was thrown into prison. All right? So it said, blessed are ye when you are persecuted. All right? Was that on it?
You keep going on it.
Continue on. The 23, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven.
Exactly. So it say rejoice and be glad in that day. Hey, so when the pipe comes down, and that's another thing, you got to know what you're involved in. If you're not ready for this part of the prophecy, which is persecution, hey, you might want to reconsider. All right. But it says, what it say, rejoicing.
Yes. I'll read that again. It says, this is Luke 6 and 23. Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy.
Yeah, and leap for joy, because you know at the end of the day, the Most High has something in store for you that's going to be well worth it. All right, keep going.
For behold, your reward is great in heaven.
Yeah, it says, for therefore your reward is great in heaven. All right. Esau being the end of the world, and Jacob being the beginning that follows the water. All right, 2nd Ezra 6. All right. So know that there's something, you know, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, man. Just know that. All right.
That's right. I got you mind if I get something real
Go
quick?
ahead.
Okay. This is Acts chapter 5 verse. I'll start at 40. It says, and to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, that was the persecution, the oppression. Salaki, can you reread Luke 6 and 23?
This is Luke 6 verse 23.
Thessalonians.
Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven.
That's right. It says rejoice and leap for joy that you're persecuted. When through you, real talk, I was meditating on this today. You know, some brothers are going to be in the lot of a physical persecution. You know, some brothers are going to be on the run. Some brothers actually going to have that lot of Jeremiah 16 and 16. Some brothers are going to have the lot of, I think it's Isaiah 59, if I'm not mistaken, where the Lord will lift up a standard. When you go into that word standard, it means diminish or not diminish or to disappear.
That's right.
All right, and that word also means to escape. They'll have that lot. There's going to be a plethora of lots in that day, but specifically when you're actually going through a physical persecution, the Most High might put your spirit on you to be hysterically laughing during that punishment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit don't affect me, man. Because y'all doing all this shit. Y'all cutting my limbs. Y'all plucking my eyebrows off. You know, whatever. Plucking my fingernails and shit. Cutting me limb by limb, just keeping me alive. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I can't feel none of this, first off. And it's funny that you're doing this. because I'm getting a greater reward for going through this, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You might be hysterically laughing going through something like that. So rejoice for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what it says right there. For you to get that persecution, you should be rejoicing. Why? Because this is prophecy coming to pass, which Luke 6:22 and 23, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. So what you're doing to me, you're fulfilling because Yahweh Shai said it already. So I'm even more joyful to know that it's getting more real and real and real. Therefore, you're boosting my faith more and more and more. Right. Now, going into Acts chapter 5 and 40, it says, and to him they agreed, and when they have called the apostles and beaten them, so the apostles literally got that physical persecution, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahweh Shai, because what we read in the Son of Man's sake, okay?
That's right.
And let them go. Now here's the point, verse 41. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer the shame for his name. Verse 42, and daily in the temple, in every house, they ceased not to teach and preach Yahweh Shai and Mashiach, man. So they rejoiced for the persecution they went through, man. Okay? They were happy that they went through that. Because first off, that's a chastisement from the Lord.
That's right.
Hey, the water Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? For the persecution. So when that persecution hits in Jacob's trouble, you should be rejoicing. Because you know it's almost time to get the hell up out of this shit, man. You know? But y'all, you got it, bro.
You was through on that,
Kind of was a little more on it.
okay.
And it says, for in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets.
Come.
And that's in, June.
Yep, 15.
Okay. Kind of 15. Get
Matter of fact, you brought up the Matthew 5.
5
and 11. Yeah, you brought it out. Okay. Romans 8.
Okay, kind of. This is 35. Kind of. This is Romans 8 verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine?
It says, who shall separate us from it? So when all those things come down the pipe, are you going to disown the name of Yahweh Shai? No, I ain't no Israelite. I'm a terror. I just look like an Israelite. I'm an Edomite, man. You gonna try to disassociate yourself with this thing? All right, reread it.
Come, this is Romans 8 verse 35. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahweh Shai?
Yeah, who shall separate us from it? All right, and if you wholeheartedly believe in this thing, and you believe that you are of the 12 tribes of Israel, nobody should be able to separate you. All right, go ahead.
Come, shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution?
Or persecution, because it's coming. All right, we can see it. It's near, man. It seems like every week is something new. All right, as it's pertaining to this new or relatively new black identity extremist narrative. First, there's an article actually came out. All right, with the black guy inside the pizza parlor taking matters into his own hand. Okay, if you read that article, it clearly seems as if they were directing it as the man subscribed to being an Israelite, because he was calling the white man the devil, so called, and he said he was responsible for all the atrocities and all the evils that take place. All right. So they was hinting at, him being a black identity extremist, all right? And what did he do? He took matters into his own hand, all right, and severely cut this guy that appears to be an Edomite. And that's another thing. We don't know. We don't know if that guy was actually a so-called white man. Well, he was a so-called white man on the outward, but we don't know if he was actually from the line of Edom. All right, so that's why it's not good to take matters into your own hand and further the narrative of this black identity extremists. All right, because it says we were scattered upon all the nations. So we don't know. That's why we got to wait upon the Lord, man. All right, because there are our people that look like so-called white men, that look like so-called Japanese, that look like so-called Chinese. And that's another thing. How could we be labeled as black identity extremists when we constantly tell you that this is not a thing of color? All right, our people are scattered amongst all the other nations. All right, we look like all the other nations, and all of the other nations may look like us, vice versa. So we don't know. We don't know who actually whose line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right.
I got a super quick one.
Go ahead now.
This is Romans chapter 12 and 17. It says, recompense no man evil for evil.
Right.
Provide these things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
You need to elaborate.
Gone, because like the brother said, that nigga took matters into his own hands. All right, instead of patiently waiting like the men of the Lord are doing, for the Lord to do it for us. Even when you go throughout the scriptures, we didn't fight our own battles.
Right.
We went to the Lord and He fought our battles. You know what I'm saying? We waited on the Lord. So that's the same thing the men of the Lord are doing right now. To be blameless is to let the Lord get His vengeance.
That's right.
Nothing belongs to us. This is all His vengeance. It's all His algorithm, all His plan. So we just wait on Him. You know what I'm saying?
A lesson for you.
Go ahead, bro.
And this is Matthew 10 and 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
So what can you do? What exactly can you do if you're considered a sheep? And to take it even let's backtrack even more. I think it's in Isaiah the 41st chapter. If I'm not mistaken, the 14th verse, I think. It says, "Thou worm Jacob." So not even a sheep, but you're a worm.
Right.
What do you think you can do?
Right.
You better just chill
Right.
and wait on your Creator to do the things for you. Okay? We have absolutely no power. That's why a lot, you hear this scripture a lot in Psalm 82 and 6, where it says, "Ye are gods." But when you continue to read, it says, "But you shall die like men." Meaning you have no power. Okay? So, like the brother beautifully read in Matthew 10, you're sheep in the midst of wolves. Meaning, if there's a sheep in the midst of wolves, that sheep might get tore the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just chill out, bro.
You got to tread lightly,
And,
man.
and if I can say on top of that too, knowing that Esau's blessing was the sword, man. You know, so us being sheep, and dealing, with this so-called white man, we're not gonna win being carnally minded, man. Knowing that sheep have no defense mechanism, and us being likened to sheep, and the so-called white man Esau's blessing being the sword, man. You trying to be carnally minded against Esau, man, you're gonna be through, man.
That's right.
And at the same time, you're not waiting on the Lord, man. By trying to be carnally minded.
That's right. Oh, and shalom to the Akim on the comment board, Thumb Yad, and the brother Karatazar, man. Shalom. They put on the precepts, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord willing, I'll get to y'all precepts, but y'all got it.
Kind of.
Let me finish it. Let me finish it up on Matthew 10, and it says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves."
That's right. Hey, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Hey, doves are known as some of the most peaceful, cute creatures on the face of the earth, man. What else you hold?
I guess I'm gonna start. I got Romans 8 and 6. This is Romans 8, verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
Yeah, for to be carnally minded is death. All right, that nigga, what he did in that pizza parlor was totally carnally minded. If he had any understanding of the scriptures or whoever he was watching, because it wasn't Great Millstone, all right, for him to act out in that way, he might have had a mental issue too, because that's another thing. Jacob hit his word, and they be already bugged the hell out, all right, and they thinks that once they gain a little knowledge that they've been oppressed, that the so-called white man is the devil, all right, they just want to lash out, all right, because the elevator don't go all the way to the top floor, all right. The truth attracts some real bugged out niggas, man.
Yeah, dude.
So once he heard that, he probably thought that was his green light, all right, not waiting on the Lord, but that was his green light to go ahead and act, man, when he was totally out of order for that.
That's
All right, and we don't condone that here at Great Millstone. Let's just go ahead and put that out there, because they'll, the persecution, like we said, is near. They'll try to slap the name GMS, upon that video or clip. A guy from GMS did X, Y, and Z in a pizza parlor to a white man. No, he's not associated with us, and he's not listening to the teachers of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because we don't condone that, man.
That's right.
All right.
And the apostles in Great Millstone heavily teach patience.
Exactly.
And long suffering. Just wait.
We ain't getting down like that over here, man. Shit, from the video I seen, shit, he might have been ISUPK. They the ones got them claiming to be black identity screamers, and they want Esau blood and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, like we say, it doesn't matter. You're an Israelite, it's gonna be brought upon you, man. That persecution. All right. That was it on it.
It was a little more. And it says.
What verse are you in?
This is Romans 8 and 6.
You start at 5.
This is Romans 8 verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit.
Yeah, and that's what we constantly push here at Great Millstone: the spirit, the spirit, the spirit, being of the spirit. All right, and if you're of the spirit, you're gonna sit back, wait, and be patient. All right, but that word patient goes back to long suffering, like the brother said. All right, that's a spiritual act. What he did was total carnality. All right, go ahead.
Come, number 1, and it says, "For to be carnally minded is death."
Yeah, for to be carnally minded is death, and that nigga could have easily been put to death that day in the pizza parlor. Them so-called white men love to pack, man. He could have drawn down on that nigga and killed him right there in the pizza parlor, and not face any kind of reparation for it.
Self-defense.
Yeah, it was self-defense. I was standing my ground. All right, go ahead.
Come, and I'm gonna continue on, and it says, matter of fact, I'll read 6 again. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yeah, life and peace, man. All right, to be spiritually minded, the total opposite of being carnal. You had precepts.
This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 32 verse 19. Do nothing without advice.
Right. Do nothing without advice, man. Seeking that counsel, it'll be wise. All right. So if you're unsure about this for guys on the other side. If you're unsure about the things that we're teaching and that we're telling you to do, hey, reach out, man. Ask questions before you resort to violence, like the dude in the pizza parlor, man. That's right. Do nothing without counsel, man. Wise counsel. All right. Go ahead.
And it says, we continue on. And when thou hast once done, repent not. So once you do that, so once you go out of the way of Yahweh Shah and you decide you want to act out, carnally, man, and be emotional, so that judgment come down and say that so-called white man, that damn Edomite put you to death right there, hey, that was on you, man, That blood on you. Why? Because you acted carnally, man. You wasn't waiting on the Lord. You wasn't waiting on Yahweh Shah. So repent not, man, because we know judgment gonna come down swiftly, man. Because that's going outside of the hedge of Yahweh Shah, being carnally minded, man.
And we're going into this because we're saying that to say that acts like that and acts like the ISUPK, what they put on that Vice interview, is just playing into Esau's hand. You just furthering the narrative so that persecution is gonna come down, man. And hey, so be it. And we'll see. Hey, in that day when the persecution hit heavy, and you're thrown in a concentration camp, or you're being brought in front of and facing judges for allegations, whether they be false or whether they be true. Because some of you niggas are going to go down for being carnal and not waiting upon the Lord. But us here at Great Millstone, it's going to have to be falsely brought upon us. We're men that lead very simple lives, okay? We have families, we have jobs, all right? When we just get together and teach the scriptures, man, and go out and try to wake up the hopefully elect. Well, wake up the elect so we can get the hell up out of here. All right, and that's what we're about, man. All right?
The job is really simple.
Yeah, it's really simple. These other guys are making it hard, man.
Hey, I had a precept to that precept. Can you get Sirach chapter 11 and 7? You can start at 7. Because this is okay. No, go ahead.
Bro. This is Ecclesiastes Salaki, or Sirach 11 verse 7. Blame not, Salaki. It says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke.
That's right. But even so, when you read about Yahweh Shai and Pilate, right? Pilate did that. He blamed not until he examined. He got the truth. Then when he got it, he was like, hold on. Something ain't right. Get Sirach 19 and I think it's like 19 and 8, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It says, learn before that speak. Then maybe that, let me see, if I can find it, I'll get it. Because that's what Polite did. No, it's Sirach 18 and 19.
Okay, come on. You want that?
Yeah, get that real quick.
Come on, this is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 18 verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord.
Sirach 18 and 19.
Come on. Sirach 18 and 19?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 18 and 19.
I'll read it real quick.
All right,
this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 18 verse 19. It says, learn before thou speak. It says, and use physic or ever thou be sick. Now when you go and read the account in Polite, when he said that this man is blameless, he has done nothing. You know what I'm saying? He examined the truth first, see what he actually did. He actually went to Yahweh Shai and spoke to Yahweh Shai. All right? And Yahweh Shai only said a few words to him, thou sayest. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, and he went back to the niggas outside. It was like, this man's done nothing. But you want to let go of this man who's a murderer, who's a criminal. All right? Who's a chief nigga. You want to let him back into your public highways. Okay? In your public areas. But this man, Yahweh Shai, who y'all claiming just did so much, he hasn't done a thing. And yet they still said crucify and put him on us and the children. All right? And that's when Pilate was like, he washed his hands.
Right.
He's like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. So go back to Sirach 11 and 7 real quick.
Come on. You want me to read that one more time?
11 and 7? Yeah.
Come on. This is Ecclesiastes or Sirach 11 verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Examine the truth. Okay, go ahead.
Understand first.
Understand first. Having an understanding is having a perception or perceiving something. The word perception or perceive means a taking beforehand, and it means to grasp or to understand. It's an apprehension. The word apprehension literally means anxiety or fear that something will happen, or to understand something or to grasp something. Those are all synonyms: perceive, perception, and apprehension. Okay? So go ahead.
And then rebuke.
And then rebuke. Go ahead.
And continue on. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. This is how you judge. You have to hear both sides. You have to weigh them out. It's like what King Solomon did with the two women who had the babies. Well, okay, I heard your side. Now give me the baby. I'll cut him in half. You can have the bottom. You can have the top. But he examined the truth first. He didn't speak until what? He got it all together. So go ahead.
Seen the whole matter.
He seen the whole matter.
He heard the whole matter before he executed his plan. All right. He heard the whole matter.
Okay.
That's right. Go ahead.
And it says, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of the talk. Does it say speech or talk? I like to say speech. It says talk. Kind of in the midst of the talk, meaning when they're speaking. Okay, that's a very disrespectful thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand what niggas we have to deal with and heathen, the top heathen we deal with. We read these scriptures, it applies to us. We follow these things. But like it says in the book of Maccabees, he laid open the book of the law and sought to paint over the pictures of the likeness. Okay? So he laid open the book of Ecclesiasticus and saw that it says examine it and examine the truth and learn before you speak and do this and do that. I am not going to do that, is what Esau's saying. I'm going to falsely accuse your ass. I'm going to say you did this, this, and the third when you really didn't. These niggas out here, okay? Because when we read Luke 6 and 22, that's speaking about niggas, man. When you read Matthew, the 24th chapter, when it says they shall deliver you up to the synagogues and the princes, and they shall kill you, who's gonna do that? Niggas. They gonna rat, okay? They're gonna rat on you. These other alphabet camps are gonna rat on the men of the Lord. Simple as that. And they're not going to learn before they speak. They're not going to examine the truth. Therefore, they're going to persecute us because they don't want to follow these things that are in the book of Sirach. Simple and plain. Okay?
You bring that back down, Sirach.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 18, verse 19. Learn before thou speak and use sight or ever thou be sick.
And use physic and ever thou be sick, man. Okay? So learn before you speak. You don't just blabber out in the mouth. You got to watch what you say, man. I'm going to get this precept that the brother Karatazal got put up because this is a beautiful precept. This is Titus chapter 2, verse 8. It says, sound speech that cannot be condemned. So if you have sound speech and it can't be condemned, that's because you learned. You comprehended. Comprehension means to understand. Proverbs 4 and 7 clearly says wisdom is the principal thing with all thy getting. Get understanding. So before you speak, you got to understand what you're saying. Before you pull a precept out, you got to understand the precept that you want to pull. Simple as that. Okay? It says sound speech that cannot be condemned. And that's the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They cannot be condemned. Again, I will say it again. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar. It says that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, meaning convicted. Convicted. The spirit's convicted, man. Having no evil thing to say of you. I ain't got nothing to say. Pilate didn't have nothing to say evil against Yahushai. When they come down and persecute us, we're going to sit there and be like, what have I done? Right. I went to work, clocked in on time. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a bill payment on the 15th of October. That's it. My fault. I'm sorry. It's just that I get paid $9 a goddamn hour, and I can't support certain things. Exactly. What else? Right. What else did I do? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because we don't got the means to really do anything. We don't have the means to go out and, like the brother said, make bombs. Goddamn.
First off, we don't want to.
Exactly.
And what are the times we say? We could barely buy a pack of chicken, man.
Right.
Fuck, we look like doing some terroristic ass shit, man.
Right.
We out here struggling just like every other one of these Americans out here struggling too, man.
Yeah, that's all I had to say. That's what I was gonna say though.
You know, but that's the person. But that's the. If you keep yourself, the scriptures up and down talk about being blameless. If you don't mind, can I get a precept? Come. This is Philippians chapter 2, verse 14. It says, do all things without murmurings and disputings. When you go back to the word murmurings, it's synonymous with the word grudge. The scriptures also tell you to do things of hospitality without grudging. Okay? Grudging, murmurings. Murmuring is what? Reviling. Upbraiding. It's talking behind someone's back.
Yeah.
It's talking shit. Alright?
Like niggas coming out of Egypt.
Yep.
In Exodus.
Murmuring.
It's talking shit.
Murmuring. That's why the ground swallowed their ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So verse 15, it says that ye may be blameless and harmless. The brother read it, harmless as a dove.
That's right.
Okay? If you're not murmuring and having disputes between one another and shit, just in everyday life, even to a two-third nigga or a heathen, if you're not murmuring about them at work, they got nothing bad to say about you.
Yep.
Okay? Just a testimony. I used to work at this job. It was stressful. I don't let the fucking job stress me. So right when I get out of the stressfulness, I'm like, I'm out, man.
Bouncing.
I bounced. My boss cried.
Right.
My boss cried when I left. I was like, no, don't leave. I was like, I just got to, man. Like, y'all tripping over here. You know what I'm saying? But she cried because what? I was blameless. They had nothing bad to say about me.
Right.
They loved me there.
Right.
But I did nothing.
Right. File clean, not one write-up, not a verbal, nothing.
Nothing.
And that's how it's got to be, man.
You got
But
me.
when they open up that file on Kasha Kwala, Rock, and all the other brothers, that motherfucker gonna be empty. They gonna have to start pulling shit out and slapping it in there.
They gonna have that vanilla envelope. They gonna open it expecting something to fall out. It's just gonna be the vanilla envelope.
I'm like, no, this nigga did something.
What the fuck? You know? So just to finish off, I'll pass it back to y'all brothers. That you may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, okay? Meaning if you're a son of the Most High, that means, and you recognize it, that means now you're an ambassador of Yahweh Shem Shai. Ambassador is a representative. You're representing somebody now, okay? So the way you conduct yourself is how they see us conduct ourselves, is how they would think, you know, I want to say it like that, but because the scriptures say he created us in his image and his likeness. Likeness goes into characteristics. So our characteristics reflect Yahweh Shem Shai. So if we're acting like a nigga, they're going to be like, man, what is their power like? You know what I'm saying? But if you're acting as a just person and an upright person, they're going to think the same of the power that you serve.
That's right.
Okay? It says, without rebuke, meaning correction, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, which we see from day to day with these niggas, okay, and especially that Vice magazine and all this shit popping off of these other camps, okay, they're perverse backwards, okay, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. That's right. We shine as lights in the world. That's a precept to Matthew the 5th chapter, okay? I think it's Matthew, no, the 7th chapter. It may be one of those, where it says, a light on a hill, you know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is, because we don't do these certain things, you know, and we keep the scriptures, we keep the precepts of the scriptures say, through thy precepts I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. Because we're keeping the commandments of the Lord, therefore we're blameless. You can't say anything about us. We don't do nothing. Like the brother said, we lead simple lives, man. Hey, what allegations can you pull on me other than I'm fucking through, man? You know what I'm saying? That's the only so-called negative thing that you can really get on sincere argument in the minute of the Lord out here.
I got it.
Go ahead, man.
This is Matthew 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on the hill cannot be hid.
That's right. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. You're the light of the world. Meaning through all this perverse and backward activity and this, I would say retardation, okay, because it needs to come back slow, all right? But in the midst of all of this, you're heterodox or unorthodox to what they're doing, meaning you're going against the grain in righteousness. Therefore, you're going to be a light. People are going to recognize that about you. What's up with this guy? So go ahead, bro.
Come, you want me to read that again?
Yeah, give me
Come, this is Matthew 5 verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Yeah, that's being that light, man. Hey, and if you are walking in the right manner, that light is going to shine, okay, unto these commoners, so to speak. Like the brother said, we're made in the image of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So what we put out is a reflection on Him. All right. So we have to be that light that sit upon the hill, man. All right. Go ahead.
And continue on, it says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works.
Yeah, yeah. And like the brother was saying, his boss cried. They seen that light in the brother. They not going to just cry over any 2/3 nigga, man. They going to be happy that nigga left. Yeah, might throw a goddamn party. Go ahead.
And glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Yeah, and give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Which sit upon the throne, man.
God, I got a precept for
Go
you.
ahead.
This is John 14 verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. That's right, man. You know, and that's how, you know, men, you know, that we're out here, you know, pushing this truth to, you know, pushing his words, you know, pushing the word of Yahweh Shem Shai out to, man. How they gonna know that we're sent by Yahweh Shem Shai? You know, by our love for one to another. You know, by doing what's commanded of us. You know, by being blameless, man. You know, no, even when this persecution comes down, these devils, man, try to open up the rap sheet on us, man. We're gonna be blameless, man. You know, there's not gonna be anything they're gonna try to put on us, man, to speak evil against us, man. You know, because we know they're gonna bring us things against us falsely, man. You know, we know we're gonna be persecuted, you know, and spoke down upon, you know, for Yahweh Shem Shai's sake, man. You know.
Grab, you had those in on that?
You
had another precept? If not, bring out Luke. Get this off the comment board from the brother Yadi.
Okay.
Luke 21, start at verse 10.
Okay. This is Luke 21.
So like, because when you read this goes into the signs that are going to be presented when we're down there at the end, man. And persecution is one of them. Go ahead, read.
Come, this is Luke 21, verse 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Yep.
And continue on to 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences. And fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And persecute you.
Persecute you. Okay? We're seeing all these things come to pass, man. So that got to be a sign, man, that we're damn near towards the end, man. It's crunch time at this point. When that persecution comes, Jacob's trouble, all right, and our salvation, is nearer than we believe, man. At this point. So that's why it's important to keep the faith, man, and keep fighting. And when that persecution come upon you, all right, don't deny the Lord, man. Don't deny the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, man. All right, go ahead.
And it says, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons.
Yep, delivering you up to the judges and charges being brought upon you. All right. Don't be that guy on the first 48. You ratting out the brothers for a 10-piece hot wing and a cigarette. All right. You know, keep your faith. All right. And hey man, you're blameless, man. And just know, all right, that if you hold fast to what you believe in, all right, the Lord is you're gonna reap the benefits of it, man. You're gonna receive that salvation and the kingdom of heaven that is at hand. All right. Go ahead.
Being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Yeah, for his name's sake. Yahweh Shai, man. Alright? For his name's sake. Not ours, not your parents, not your kids. Alright? You're gonna be persecuted for his name's sake. Alright? Those it?
Coming out.
Okay.
Anything?
You got anything?
Nah, you got precept.
Just for a second, we can cover.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can close out on that, man. A Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. And just to sum it up, man, persecution is near. So rejoice and be glad, man, and hold stead and hold fast to the faith. All right. Don't be all right. Don't be blameful. Be blameless. All right. Don't further the narrative that Esau is pushing out here as being a black identity extremist. All right. And I can say before we get out of here as well, we're not associated with any of these other groups, man. We're not black identity extremists. We don't condone carnality, all right? But just know that you're going to be persecuted regardless, all right? Anybody had any closing remarks?
Yeah,
all right. So we're going to get out of here, Lord willing. Like I said, you know, the lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakak, and Bash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at GMS. Shalom.
Shalom.